This week at High Peak, it's another busy one I'm afraid. We're kicking things off by collecting a Citroën for my mechanics, then we've got to go over to SPR to pick up my beautiful Mercedes SL. After that we've got to head up to Leeds to collect a very low mileage Nissan Juke, one of my all-time favourite cars. Then we've got to swing by Tameside detailing to check in on a few projects, we've got to stop by Jim the Trim to check in on my Rover 75, and I suppose we need to go down to my mechanics and check in on a few projects. I think my Porsche Boxster is very nearly ready. Let's get going. Right guys, how's it going? Welcome back. Well, we've got a really busy day today. I've got to go to my mechanics first to pick up a DS3 that's now ready. That needs a valet, so I'm going to take that over to Tameside. There's a Fiat 500 at Tameside valeting ready to pick up. That needs to go back to work, photograph. I need to go to SPR and pick up my SL350. Then I need to go to Leeds because I've agreed to buy a Nissan Juke automatic. So it's quite a busy day, this. The Nissan Juke then has got a dent on a front wing, so I need to take that over to Dents and get the dent pulled out. It needs a buff, a valet, service, all that sort of stuff. So there's plenty to do. So I think we better hit the road, sharpish. First stop then, my mechanics. I feel like I spoke really quickly then when I was rattling off today's job list, just because I've got a lot on my plate and a lot on my mind. The DS3 that we're going to collect is a 2015 done 80,000 miles, 1.2 litre petrol, and it's a metallic purple. I quite like the DS3 actually. They're quite quirky little cars. So that came in part exchange last week. It needed a service and MOT, so I've given it a full service and a clean MOT with no advisory items. That then needs to go for a valet. Then as soon as it's ready there, which will be tomorrow now, and get it back to work, photograph it. It is just rinse and repeat, this job. It is quite repetitive to be honest, but still. It's the path I've chosen. I got a call from SPR to say my SL's ready, so I need to go and collect that. That then needs to go to Prestige Wheels for its wheels to be refurbished. Then it can go to Tameside for a buff, headlamp buff, valet. Then I can get it back to work, screw the new plates on, photograph it, finish the video with it. Then we've got a main channel video as well. So it is always quite busy, which I quite like. Then we need to fly up the M62 then over to Leeds to pick up this Nissan Juke. Now I'm not a big fan of the Juke, but I'm in the car sales business, aren't I? And they sell well, weirdly. So what I've agreed to buy is a 2012 Juke automatic, which is quite rare, but it's only done 26,000 miles. So I just know this is a guaranteed seller. It looks quite tidy, it's white, there's a dent on a wing, but it hasn't broken the paint, I don't think. So I'm pretty sure we can just pop that dent out. And away we go. Right, how do I turn off Celine Dion? I don't know how you turn it off. This is a later one, so I've got no idea. We'll just turn the volume down. We need to stop for some fuel because it's very low. It's quite a nice car, this. This is actually my first time seeing it. It came in part exchange, so my colleague will have dealt with it, and it was dropped down here without me knowing. Wonder if the air conditioning works. Quite a nice warm day today. So as you can see, we've got 12 months MOT with no advisory items. It's had its full service. Yeah, I do quite like these. Well, next stop then, Tameside detailing for a valet. In fact, next stop, fuel. Fuel, then valet, in that order. Right, well I've dropped off the DS3. That's now here having a valet, so that'll be ready tomorrow. Drives very well actually. And that's my 500X that's ready. Now I haven't got time for this. I'm gonna have to get my colleague to come and collect it for me because I need to go and get this car from SPR. So that's where I'm heading next. Hello. SPR then please, pal. Right, so we're back in my SL350. With its fresh engine and gearbox service. Sam has kindly fixed my glove box for me and also fixed my handbrake, which wasn't working. There we go. Very good. My bill there for the A service and the gearbox service was 486 quid. So it just gives me a bit of confidence with this car now, so we're all set. Because it's a nice sunny day, it's 18 degrees, shall we have the roof down? Why miss an opportunity, really? Sam also said that this is a really nice example, which I kind of knew. 32,000 miles on the clock. It was always going to be a nice one, but Sam just confirmed it, which is nice. There we go. Right, next stop then, Prestige wheels. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love a V8 and I love driving my SL350 with that 5.4 litre V8, but the 350 is actually a pretty good car, pretty good engine. Like 270 odd horsepower, it's enough power really. And of course the other upside is they're cheaper to run. You've got no complicated ABC suspension, it's just standard springs and shocks, so there's less to go wrong. Even sounds pretty good, this. Honestly, love the sound of a V6. I know it's quite an obvious thing to say, but the sunshine just puts you in a good mood, doesn't it? It just makes you feel good, even if you're driving through Brimington. What I'm going to do with these wheels is just have them powder coated silver. I want this to look as factory fresh as possible. I'm not going to get them done black or grey or anything, just completely original. It's a nice original car, this anyway, so I just want to get it as nice as I possibly can. Once it's done here, I'll buff the headlamps, fit the reg plates, get it cleaned, and then back it into the showroom and wait for a buyer to come along, which shouldn't take too long, to be honest. I had one of these a couple of weeks ago. That was a 2006 350, and it sold within like a week. That had only done 40,000 miles as well, so it's nice low mileage cars. I think people always want. Everywhere I've been today, I've been stuck at temporary lights. Well, we've just got to Prestige wheels now. I've noticed, by the way, my 430 diesel, I think it's ready to pick up, so that might be my next job. In fact, I might have to come back for that because I do need to be in Leeds in like an hour, and it's an hour and 5 minutes away. So let me rush in there and drop off the keys. I'll see you shortly. Well, we're on our way to Leeds. We've got our little fruit pot, haven't we? That's about it, really. I just thought I'd give you an update. We are 55 minutes away. As soon as I get there, I need to transfer the ownership, make a payment, obviously have a look around the car first. Oh, do you know what I need to do? Check it out. I haven't done a car vertical. Bear with me a second.
What's this, the Juke?
The Juke. Now, before you hand over any money for a car, it's really important that you do a thorough vehicle history check, and I always use Car Vertical. So let me show you how it works. All you need to do is go to carvertical.com, type in the reg or the VIN, which is Yankee Hotel 12 Kilo X-Ray Bravo, and then check vehicle. And what this does now is it checks database in like 35 different countries. So it'll tell us if it's ever been stolen, written off, had a mileage rollback, or has a standing finance on it. Just bear with me a second, I've got one eye on my brother's driving. So if you see me looking terrified, that's why.
He's dropped a piece of fruit.
Don't do. Good job this car's got lane keep assist. My brother's currently looking for a piece of pineapple. As you can see, this doesn't take long and it isn't expensive, and it's cheaper still if you use my promo code HIGHPEAK. That's HIGHPEAK, all one word, HIGHPEAK, and you'll save yourself 20% off each and every check that you do. It's as simple as that. So the report is now ready. Let me show you this. So view report. So it's never been clocked, no outstanding finance, no recorded accident damage. It's only had 2 owners, so that's a good sign. Never been stolen. The last known mileage was 26,170, so it is very low mileage for a 13-year-old car. So it's done next to nothing really, only like 1,000 miles a year. Its last inspection was in January this year. No damage, no. Right, okay. We've got average market values, road tax rates. So it's a Nissan Juke, petrol automatic in white. Now if we go down to its timeline, let's check the MOT history. So it's had a plate change. It failed an MOT, then it's passed. And it's passed with a couple of advisory items. Right, so on its last MOT then, in January this year, there were 2 advisory items. Rear brake pads wearing thin and front brake pads wearing thin. And that was it. So that was quite good going. Nothing there to cause me any concern. I think once I've picked this up, I'm going to get an engine and gearbox service done, and then get it through an MOT with no advisory items. So going off its last one, it'll probably need new brake pads or discs or something, so we'll get that sorted. But yeah, I thought it was quite good stock really, as much as I'm not a fan of them. They do always sell, especially automatic ones, because they're a bit more rare. So yeah, thanks Car Vertical for sponsoring today's video. Yeah, it's really important that you do one of these checks before you hand over any cash. There's just so many dodgy cars out there. You'd be surprised, I get offered cars, I don't know, maybe 15 cars a day. And when I check them out on Car Vertical, quite a few are like Cat Ds or Cat Ns or, insurance write-offs. And more often than not, the person, usually a YouTube viewer, they don't know, or they didn't know. Or at least they claim they didn't know. So yeah, it's definitely worth doing one of these checks. Anyway, I'm going to sign off now then, and I shall see you in Leeds. See you in a bit.
gear tool.
Well, we've just arrived now, so I'm going to go in and do the paperwork then, and yeah, I'll give you a tour of it shortly. Well, here it is then. I've agreed to buy it. Took it for a little test drive, done all the paperwork, done the bank transfer. So we just need to get it back to base camp, really. But as much as I don't really like these cars, it's quite a nice example. Let me just spin the camera around. There's a little dent here on the wing, which I knew about, so we'll get the lads from Dents to pop that out, and it could do with a good buff and polish. Nissans always seem to go a bit sort of dull and always have a bit of a matte finish. It's probably never had a buff in its life, so we can sort that out. But there's nothing else really to do to it. I'll give it an MOT, sort the brake pads out, front and rear, but the tyres are all pretty good. And yeah, it's a nice clean car really. It's only done 26,000 miles, it's got both sets of keys. There's loads of service history, so that's all good. There is, I've noticed, a small rip or cigarette burn or something on the driver's seat there, so I'll speak to my trimmer, or the trimmer that I use, and get that sorted. But apart from a valet, it's a nice clean example. Like the back seats, for example, don't look like they've ever been sat in. We've even got as well, which always goes missing on these, we've even got the parcel shelf. So we've got the locking wheel nut in there, and the parcel shelf on these is attached to the boot lid, and they always break and then people just chuck them out, but on this one at least it's there. So it's very windy out here today, up in Yorkshire, up in Leeds. So I think I'm going to head straight back to the garage, drop this off, and then pick up my car and call it a day. So yeah, that's about it. More day in the life stuff tomorrow. Well, a few days have passed then since we last spoke, and the reason I haven't brought you along was because I wasn't doing anything particularly noteworthy or interesting. But today, or this afternoon, we've got quite a busy day. I've just had a call from Jim at Auto Trim, Jim the Trim, to tell me that my Rover 75 has had its new headliner fitted, so we're going to go and collect that. That's over in Denton, that's like 3 or 4 miles away. But on the way, I want to stop in by Tameside Detailing and check in on a few cars. My blue L322's there, that should be nearly ready, and also my white Nissan Juke that you'll have seen at the start of this video. That's had its buff and had its dent removed, so it's nearly good to go. Then we need to go to my mechanics and check in on a few projects. I think my Boxster's nearly ready. If it is, I need to take it to Prestige Wheels and get the wheels done. What else? I can't even think. Oh, my SL, the SL350 that featured on the main channel a couple of days ago. That's now had its MOT. Somebody's picking that up on Saturday, I believe, so I need to pick that up. So anyway, there's quite a lot to do. So without wasting any more time, let's hit the road, shall we? So last time I was at Tameside Detailing, there was a Fiat 500X there that I thought was mine, and I asked my colleague to go and collect it. Anyway, it wasn't mine, it turns out, it was somebody else's. I did have a Fiat there, but it was a little 500, a standard 500, not the 500X. So it's a good job I didn't pick that up, wasn't it, really? I got done for stealing or something. That does occasionally happen in this job. I mean, not me getting done for stealing, I mean picking up the wrong car. Sometimes I've been down at my mechanics and I've picked up, I don't know, a red Nissan Juke, and it's not actually mine, it's another car trader's or, you know, a private person's. We've both got a 2012 Juke, for example. It does happen. So if that was your Fiat, then I apologise. Just to give you a bit of a forecut update then, my Lexus LS430 finally sold. So I've had the cam belt done, which I said I would do at point of sale. That's been done, so I picked that up from my mechanics this morning and took it for a wash. That's been picked up later, so I should have some money in my account. And what else? It's been quite a busy morning actually. We've got a test drive on the little Hyundai i10 that I picked up from Sheffield last week, I think it was. So that's been washed and ready. And what else? We've got a test drive on a blue Fiesta that we've got. Oh, and also the little DS3, the purple DS3 that we picked up at the start of this video. That's had an inquiry. Somebody wants to come and look at that, I think tomorrow. So that's been cleaned and ready. So, should be quite a busy few days, really. Which I'm always grateful for because it massively helps with cash flow. She was flying, wasn't she? Took a racing line around that corner, didn't she? Yeah. My Audi A5 convertible is ready at my mechanic, so I need to go and collect that. We've had a couple of inquiries on that. I kind of knew we would because it just looks great value at 6,495. It's quite a modern looking car. Although it did need several hundreds of pounds spending on it for its service and MOT. tyres, discs, pads and various bits and pieces. Anyway, it's been done, so hopefully that'll sell quite quickly. There's my blue Range Rover. I think he said that would be ready tomorrow, so they might not have even started that yet. But I've had the side steps fitted and the mud flaps fitted, so it does look really good now. Nice. Right, we're here then. I'm going to nip inside and see if there's anything ready. I think my Nissan Juke might be. That was dropped off there this morning. It wasn't particularly dirty, so that could well be ready. In which case, we'll take that back to the garage before we go back out and get the Rover 75. Lots of running around with this job. Let me just briefly show you around the Range Rover then. So, you might disagree with me on this, but I kind of prefer the look of them with side steps. So I bought some side steps from eBay. I think they were like Chinese copied parts, but they were 120 quid for the side steps and the mud flaps. So, I've had those fitted, which make it look a bit, I don't know, a bit chunkier, a bit more sort of like it could go anywhere. And I had those fitted by Jimmy the Magician. And I think actually, what else has he done? It was quite difficult to get them to fit. So anyway, he's played around with it, but we got there in the end. So all it needs now really is a proper clean. This is a big transformation really. It looks nothing like the car that I bought down in Somerset 2 months ago. Looks really good. Hello, you're right. Why? The Nissan Juke isn't quite ready yet. It'll be ready in the morning, but it's looking good. Now it's had its buff and its dent removal, it does look the part. So I think that should sell quite quickly. So I think we'll jump back in the iGo and we'll go and pick up the Rover 75. Can hardly wait. There's always an Aston part there as well. There you go. So sad, honestly. He's always got loads of interesting cars here, like the E-Class convertible there, for example, or the XJS. There he is, Jim. Can't see my Rover, but I'll go and speak to Jim and get the keys. Hello, Jim.
Hello, mate.
How you doing? You alright?
Yeah.
I'm good, how are you?
I'm good.
Very good. Busy as always.
We're busy.
Yeah.
Right, let's get some cars moved. I'll give you the key for the Rover, and then
Alright.
when we've moved these, you can...
Yeah. Right, lovely. Cheers. Seen that old Alfa Romeo? That's cool, isn't it? I don't even know what that is. 1978, I think, if it's an R-Reg. I don't know, that's the end of my knowledge there.
Nice.
It's got a matching throw in the back. They do such a good job here, you know. Take a look at the headliner.
It's better, doesn't it?
Yeah, really good.
Right, there's
Lovely,
the key
thank
for
you.
yours.
Cheers.
You just pass us the number off the desk.
Oh yeah, sure, yeah.
Thank you, mate. That's
Cheers, pal,
great.
thank you.
Right.
Well, we're slowly getting through the jobs on this old 75. It has had quite a bit of work. So it's had its service. I gave it a full service. Clean MOT, 3 tyres, headliner. Now it just needs paint work. We've got a load of drawing pins now, which we don't need. They're surplus to requirements. So I think we need to get this down to Jimmy the Magician. Let him paint, well, paint whatever he feels like painting. Probably most of the car, unfortunately, but I think it'll be worth it. At the end of the day, this is a Rover 75 with a 1.8 litre K-Series engine. It's very sought after. I'm just waiting for Jim to move a couple of cars out of the way, but we can be on our way fairly soon. And I seem to remember the air conditioning working on this car, so we're in luck. There we go. Perfect. That's so much better, you know. Felt like I was in a collapsing tent or something before, but no, it's all good. Yeah, well impressed. Well, I've just taken the Rover 75 to the car wash. It was full of dust and stuff, so I thought, well, we'll get it cleaned off. That way we can see exactly what we need to paint. That's my last job with that car, really. Just sort the bodywork out. Once that's done, then should be able to sell it. It'll be quite a nice car then, really. I haven't completely hated the drive back. It was quite pleasant. Next stop then, we're heading down to my mechanics to, well, hopefully pick up the Porsche Boxster. If that's not ready, I'm sure something else is. And I'll also bring you up to speed with the other projects down there. So, yeah, we'll head there next.
A few moments later.
Right, well we're here then, so I need to go and check in. I don't see my Porsche, which means it must be being worked. Oh yeah, they're on with it. They're on with that, that's good. My Range Rover's here for a minor oil leak. My Probe will be ready soon, hopefully. Let's go and find my mechanic then. Well, I've just spoke to my mechanic then. It's not quite ready yet. They're still waiting for a part to arrive. I don't know where I'm walking to there, don't I? So it went to Porsche for a minor service, but then I brought it back here for all the other bits. So it's had a full engine service, brake fluid change, loads of stuff, honestly. But there was a coolant leak. So they've replaced a pipe, but it was leaking from some sort of housing or something. So they're waiting for that to arrive. Then it'll be ready. Then I need to get that to Prestige Wheels for its wheel refurb, then a valet, and then it's done. I can finally photograph it, finish my main channel video, try and find a home for it. It's been quite a long process, that, actually. One thing to mention with this Porsche, actually, which has kind of annoyed me, the rear light was all cracked around the outside here. So I've replaced it, obviously. However, if you look at that compared to this side looks very old. Obviously, that's the original and that's brand new. So this is now 14 years old. And when you look at them, well, side by side, looks a bit of a state, doesn't it? I think that stands out like a sore thumb. Now, I would normally replace that as well. However, a new light costs £420. But where do I stop? I could just chase myself all the way around the car until everything's been replaced or, you know, repaired. And there's nothing actually wrong with it. It just doesn't look the best. I've had a look on eBay and there's still 400 quid. That one was direct from Porsche. So, I don't know. The trouble is, this is the 987.2, so it's the facelift third generation. It's the facelift 987 anyway. So, I don't know. I didn't anticipate it being so difficult to get hold of, but it is. So, I don't know. What would you do? Let me know below. My SL's ready to go. I was going to MOT it. I brought it down here for an MOT, but then when I checked it out, it's got one until the end of January next year, so may as well save myself 50 quid, hadn't I? So that's that. I still need to sort out my Fiat Coupe. I found a cam belt kit, so that's fine. It's just finding time to get it up on the ramp, really.
Looks like they're stripping parts off in this, isn't it?
Yeah, I've been taking various parts off it just to keep for spares, really, because they're so rare. But basically, it can be scrapped now, pretty much. Looking around now, I've still got a couple of project cars here. So these are cars that I filmed the intro to on the main channel, you know, months ago in some cases. And I'm just waiting for them to be finished so that I can finish the video. One of them is that 207 convertible in the corner there. Believe it or not, that was actually quite a nice car, but it's got a noisy clutch. So, well, amongst other things. So it's waiting to have that done. So it's a 2007 Peugeot 207 CC. So it's a coupe convertible, but it's low mileage. You might be wondering why I'm bothering with this, but it's only done, I think, like 30,000 miles. It seemed like quite a nice one. So once it's had its clutch done, I think it needs a window regulator, a service MOT, then it's good to go. I can finish my video with it. Needs a little bit of paint on this trim here and a very good clean. But I just thought it would make for quite a good video. And I think I paid something like £500 for this. So I thought if I spend another £500 on it, maybe £750 actually, then there's probably £1,000 profit there. So that's just on the back burner, really, waiting for a free mechanic. Oh, my Evoque, actually. Now, this is down here for a passenger door latch and motor. I finished the video with it on the main channel recently, but when I tried, typical Land Rover, really, when I tried to open it to get the shots, that door wasn't functioning. Bear in mind, I'd already replaced both the rear central locking latches and motors, and I'd spent like £3,000 on this car. But it wasn't quite satisfied, he wanted more. So that's down here for that. We're getting through these slowly. In fact, this is the quietest I've seen my mechanics. Need to drop off some more cars, don't I? That's my Sportage, actually. So I bought that the other day. It hasn't been prepared yet, but it's down here for a service MOT. I think it's that one anyway. I bought like 4 Kia Sportages recently, I can't remember. That needs a new set of plates if it's mine. I'm sure that's mine though. I still need to do something with my Jeep. I've got a Jeep Patriot or something or other, I don't know, down there, but I took it in part exchange. One of the reasons I haven't done anything with this Jeep is I'm struggling to get parts. So it's a late 2010 Jeep, bear with me a second, Jeep Compass, Patriot, I was right the first time. It's an Overland and it's a CRD, which proves that I can I can read. The badge is on the back. It needs various things, disc pads, tyres, but I'm struggling to find the parts. This is the trouble, really. Not many people bought Jeeps when they were new, so you always struggle to find parts for them. I think we paid something like £3 for that in parts exchange, and I think it's worth about 5 or 5.5, so I do need to do something with it. But it's just always been pushed to the back of the queue because I've always got more pressing jobs. But it's not a bad car, really. 6-speed manual, it's got a leather interior. It's the kind of thing that sells day in, day out. Oh no, maybe that's not my Sportage. Or maybe it is as well. That one's my Sportage, the 2014. But saying that 13 reg might be mine as well. Hang on a second. Now, I know this might look like I'm not on the ball here, but I was aware of buying 3 or 4 Sportages the other day. I just haven't seen them yet. They were all main dealer parts exchanges, so they've all been collected and they're just in the process of being prepared for sale. No, it's not mine. After all that, it's not mine. This is like that Fiat all over again, isn't it? Yeah. No, it's not mine. That one definitely is, though. Well, I think I'll probably round it up there then. The Porsche Boxster should be ready in the next day or 2, or maybe 3 or 4 days' time once it's had the wheels done and the valet. So keep your eyes peeled on the main channel for the video with that. I'm going to head up to work now because I believe we sold a car this afternoon that will obviously need to come back down here for preparation, service and MOT and stuff, so I'll go and grab that. But yeah, that's about it. I think I might try and have an early finish and go and enjoy the sunshine. So thank you once again for watching. Make sure you give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't done already. You can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. I'll leave the links below. Yeah, cheers guys. See you next time.